Hi ladies and gents that may be watching out there. On today's DKW show, we're going to be asking you, can you really fall in love with yourself? That's right, maybe you've come out of a really abusive relationship and it's left you insecure, or you have low self-esteem. Or on the complete opposite, maybe you're a high flyer, you're very successful, you're a go-getter, but when you look in the mirror, you're not quite impressed with what you see looking back at you. Well, we're going to teach you a little bit of self-love, so you don't want to miss this one. Grab your cuppa and get your pen and paper ready. We're going to be giving you some good to-do tips too. It's DKW. Welcome to the DKW studio. I've got my friends with me here in the studio and we're talking about self-love. Now, it's a very big issue out there with rates skyrocketing in depression and low self-esteem. How can one actually learn how to love themselves and fall in love with the greatest person on earth, which is you? So I've got my co-presenter Sam in the studio here with me. Hey Sam.
Lovely to be here again, Jen.
Sam, you're so outgoing, outspoken, very flamboyant. So I want to find out, how does one love themselves from you? I hope you've got a lot to say on today's show.
Well, yes, I'm actually very passionate about this topic because I'd like to think that I do love myself and I do invest in myself. So I'm really for this one, yeah. So I know you've got some questions for me, so
I do.
I'm looking forward to kind of answer you back with them.
Brilliant.
I'm seeing somebody different on our set today, Jen.
We do have a guest with us in the studio today. We've got Patricia. Hi Pat, how are you today?
Hi Jennifer. Hi Sam.
Hi Pat.
Hi everyone at home.
Lovely, beautiful woman.
Yeah, you're very cute.
Gorgeous.
We're going to be, oh look, she's gone all shy on TV. Do you know what, Pat, we are going to be talking self-love. I hope you've got a really good perspective to show it from, because many people might not just feel as confident, however, they do respect themselves and they do love themselves. So I'm going to be throwing some questions at you too. So I'd like to get your dibs and your view on it. But I do have a question here. I'm going to throw it out there.
Right.
Ladies, on a scale of 0 to 10, how great would you rate yourself as a person and why?
Right. Do you know what? I want to be quite confident with this. Reason why I want to be quite confident with this, I mean, I'm not going to give myself 10 because I know that there is much room for improvement within myself. So I'm going to give myself a large number 7. The reason why, Jen, is that because I can think of times in my life when I've been a 6, a 5, a 4, going down to 0, and I can see in my life until now how much I've progressed as a person and how much I've invested within myself. And to be honest, look, I'm not perfect. I am an ongoing, you know, progress.
Yeah, work in progress.
Yeah, I'm a work in progress, and I'm working, building myself, investing in myself, and you know, and I would like to think that I'm striving to conquer perfection. You know, and that's how I see it. And let's be real here, Jen. I mean, I don't believe anybody can be perfect. Right. You know, and I think that, you know, we daily, in every day, we are all of us here.
We're striving.
Everyone out there, all the viewers out there, we are all planting every single day in our life.
I get you. I mean, Patricia, hearing that, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10?
I might not be as confident as Sam, but I was actually thinking of giving myself an 8.
Wow. Good. Okay. What makes you say 8?
Because I do love myself. There are moments where I don't like certain things about me and that I would like to change, both my character and physically. But I think there's also room for improvement.
Yeah.
Like she said, That's exactly what I was going to say. There's always room for improvement. That's why I left the number 9 and 10. I'll get there.
Yeah, we will. And the thing is, we that's what we're striving. That's why we're always building on ourselves, in investing in ourselves, isn't it? And like I was saying about we're all planted. That's exactly what we have to do every day. We have to plant. And if I look at my life, the quality of my life and the person that I am today is what I've been planting and investing over the years until now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So this quality of me now is what I've been doing. So for my future, you know, working towards that number 10 mark, I want to be, you know, progressing and planting in myself in order to make myself better.
Yeah. And can I just say something? I think it depends as well on what life brings on and what kind of moments you live in right now.
That's right.
There are days where you might love yourself more because everything's going well and you love yourself. But there are days where you're going to feel you're not going to love yourself so much.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to achieve something and you didn't get there yet. And maybe you feel disappointed, or I don't love myself, or you went for an interview and you didn't get through, you think you hate yourself that day. But it cannot be always like that. You might hate yourself one day, but there's always tomorrow.
Totally agree with you.
You know what? I completely agree, and that's why I'm going to throw this other question then. I mean, you've also done TV before, Patricia, and also Sam. You're always with us on DKW. Are there any moments where you've probably looked at yourself and you thought, oh, there's something I could change, or it's made you feel insecure, and because you're in the public eye, you feel like there's more pressure to be a certain way, or, you know, you're more hard on yourself? For example, when was the last time you doubted yourself?
Let me say something about that, Jen. If I be sincere, I'm not going to say a particular moment, because doubts, in my opinion, always come. Doubts come in small measures, doubts come in large measures. And as those doubts actually come to me, it could be a bad hair day, and I'm doubting in myself, I'm having a bad day, I've woke up in a very bad mood, like what Pat was saying, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not in the mood, my eyes are all puffed up today, I'm not feeling as confident because I'm not feeling as beautiful today. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And those are the small doubts that can probably have an effect on the day. And maybe larger things like what Pat was saying, as in traumas, bad news, situations that happened. I remember when I was in a car accident, at that moment, I doubted, oh my God, I could have died. Do you know what I mean? So we go through so many different experience in our life where doubts can come, Jen. So I wouldn't say, I can say that I deal with them all the time. They will come. Doubts will come. But I think one of the most important things is how you deal with them when they come.
I was just about to ask you that. And I will go to you as well, Pat, but you mentioned a car accident. I mean, there's several people that might have been in some sort of accident and they've come out of it and their confidence has just gone right down, the drain.
Exactly.
How do you get past that? Because, I remember actually a time when you had a cast around your neck. And
yes,
how did you deal with that? How do you feel beautiful with that? How do you...
This is it. It's one of those kind of things where you have to kind of override the negative, because what's going to happen, negative thoughts is going to come and bombard your mind, your thoughts. And as those negative thoughts come, I have to almost go against those negative thoughts, go against those bad feelings. Because, for example, if I start to then entertain those negative thoughts that are coming, and I start to believe in what the doubts are saying to me, 9 times out of 10, that's how, for example, I do have a scenario. This is not so serious as an accident, but for example, I wanted to buy a new car. I want a car. I had a car, and the doubts for me to get rid of my car, I was thinking, my God, all the doubts came, oh my God, if I get rid of my car, I'm going to be without a car. I'm going to be having to taking the bus. My lifestyle is going to change if I get rid of this car. So the doubts came for me to not get rid of the car. What I had to do is to override those feelings, because when I looked at the situation in a practical way, it was better for me to get rid of that car in order for me to move forward. That was the practical, intelligent decision I had to look into to see what is the best decision to make. And once I was able to do that, okay, the thoughts will come now, I want a new car. If I entertain the car, but at the moment, you can't get a car, you can't get a new car because you can't afford a new car right now. If I entertain those the fact is I'm not going to get a new car. You're going to stay there in the same situation, carless, without a car. So I had to go against that feeling and then start to take actions that is going to help me now to get that car. So this is the same with every scenario, Jen.
I mean, Patricia as well, have you ever been in a situation, like I said, you've done TV before, was there ever a situation whereby you thought, oh gosh, I really am doubting myself, I feel insecure, or, if you was in that situation, how did you get through it and what did you do?
I think, like Sam said, doubts come and go. They come every day. You're gonna doubt yourself at one point or another. But something that I went through, and maybe there's other people out there that are going through that same situation as well, is when you have a child. When you have a child, everything changes. Your body changes and you don't love yourself so much. Your lifestyle changes because everything you do revolves around that child. You have to feed, change nappies, do this and that. When I had my child, I wasn't having as much time to look after myself as I would like to take care of my husband as I would like to. I wasn't able to go anywhere I wanted, whenever I wanted anymore. Everything had to be planned out in advance. And like I said, your body physically, you change a lot. You don't sleep as much. So you start doubting yourself, like, can I actually do this? How am I gonna get out of this situation? But babies, they don't stay babies forever. My daughter is now nearly 7, and I managed to overcome that. But there were times where I would cry, like, oh, nobody understands me, nobody knows what I'm going through, and I can't take it. But she's not a baby forever, and she was very attached, so I couldn't leave her sitting down or playing by herself and go somewhere. She would cry. I couldn't be cooking and leave her on her pushchair or something, she would cry. So it was really frustrating for me, and there were times I thought I couldn't make it, but I did, and I'm happy that I've overcome that. And there's other mothers out there, maybe you feel fat right now because your body's changed so much, you put on so much weight. You will get over that. Some things might take one day, a week, other things might take a few months, but you will eventually get out of that. You just need to learn and tell yourself that I am beautiful, I love myself. Look at yourself in the mirror and praise yourself, appreciate who you are.
Jen, I remember, sorry to cut you, Jen, but as she was speaking, sometimes even other people can make you, because let's be honest, people can be horrible, can't they? And people can actually say horrible. And I remember someone saying to me regarding my work that I would never be able to do this work. I'm never gonna, succeed. I just won't be able to do it. Now imagine, normally when you hear something that is negative, your self-esteem can just go, completely shrink. Because someone is actually seeing you and they're not seeing that you believing in yourself, but that person does not believe in you. And what I had to do, I had to go against what that person said. And I had to believe in myself, just like what Pat is saying. She had to believe in herself as a mother. I had to believe in myself and believe that, I'm sorry, despite of what you say, I believe in myself and I believe that I can do this work and I'm going to do it. So I override it and took the steps what I did need to do to succeed in that work. And here I am today. So it just goes to show.
And most definitely. And because you both touched on different elements from 2 completely different angles, and it's really important that we definitely get them across after the break. But before we do go to the break, I wanted to find out from you, what would be your definition of self-love then? What would you consider self-love to be, Sam?
Well, definitely, I can start off by saying that, you should believe in yourself, believe in the actions that you take. A definition of self-love is looking at yourself and not having limitations on yourself, being able to, understand where you're at in life, because you know what it is, Jen, as well. You've got to be able to believe and love yourself to be able to take on whatever challenges, whatever tasks, whatever goals or situations that you've got to entail with. So the definition I would say is 100% is that you've got to go against what you think is even your limitations, kind of thing. And you've got to kind of go, it's like going that extra mile. Even if you say to yourself, okay, I don't think that I have the ability to do that, but what you're going to do, you're going to take actions towards that. And what you'll find is that you will achieve that, you will accomplish that goal that you're trying to achieve. So I think that is a definition in itself, as in believing that you can
do it.
You can.
Yeah. Pat, Angie, what would you say loving yourself is? What is self-love? If someone said to you, because you gave yourself an 8 earlier on, and you explained why you gave yourself an 8, which is a very valid point. But what would you say then is self-love or loving yourself?
I think it depends, like, a lot what you think about yourself. As Sam said, people might say things to you, or people's opinions might affect you. But if you let that get inside you and you believe in that, if someone says you can't make it, you're never gonna get this to this such and such place, you're never gonna achieve that. If you believe that, you'll never get anywhere. And to love yourself, I think it's to be confident about yourself.
Yeah.
And if you know you can do it, it doesn't matter. If you believe you can, and you're gonna try your best, hard to get to where you wanna be, it doesn't matter what other people say. And because whatever they think of you will not affect you. But we cannot, I don't know if we're gonna touch this topic, but we cannot mix confidence with pride.
And that's a brilliant point. That is something that I want to explore later on in the break. And you know what? Before we go into the break, get your green card, red card ready, because we're going to be playing the green card, red card game after the break. And we're going to be asking you, do you think these people are confident or arrogant? We'll see you after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're talking about self-love on today's show. How can you really love yourself? And even more, how can you tell whether you've got positive self-esteem? And to get the ball rolling into our next part, we've got our green card, red card game.
I love our card.
So much. I haven't done it in such a while. But you know what? Self-love, this is the thing. Many people can get it twisted as arrogance at times, or they might think that, having a positive attitude about yourself can come across as a bit proud. What do you think, ladies?
Yeah, I agree. I think sometimes, I think you can always spot when someone is arrogant. They actually they're overconfident, basically.
Well, I'm going to test you on that. You put your foot in it, and I'm going to test you on that.
I have put my foot in it. Let's see.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to call a few celebs and well-known people, and I'm going to quote some of them, and I want you to tell me whether you think they're being arrogant or proud. It's a red card all the way. There's my red card. And if you think no, Jennifer, leave them alone. They've just got a bit of healthy self-esteem. It's green card. So let's start with our first one. This is Zora Neale Hurston. She's an American author. And she says, sometimes I feel discriminated against, but it does not make me angry. It merely astonishes me. How can any deny themselves the pleasure of my company? It's beyond me. Green card or red card? Oh my gosh, Patricia, you're a great... opposing views. Patricia, you're a red.
I want to hear your views on this.
Sam,
you think the person is being arrogant.
I changed my mind halfway, because when she says that sometimes I feel discriminated against, but it does not make me angry, it merely astonishes me. That's fine so far. But then when she says, how can anyone deny themselves the pleasure of my company? That's a bit too proud for me.
All the way. Sam,
I think, you know, she's a confident girl. She believes in herself. And I'm really sticking with my green card.
Do you know what? I'm so naughty. I'm on the fence as usual.
As usual, Jen.
I tell you why, because it's a red card because it does come across a bit arrogant. But I think she's just, you know, she has good self-esteem and she's having a laugh. She's basically saying, I enjoy myself. I think I'm quite a pleasant person to be around. So why wouldn't you like to be around me? I think she's just putting a bit of humour in there.
Yeah, I think it's humour more than anything. I don't think she's been nasty.
It can come across as a bit arrogant. Well, let's see this next person. We've got Avril Lavigne. I can never pronounce her surname correctly. She's a rock singer. She says, why should I care what people think of me? I am who I am and who I want to be. Wow, there's Avril. She said it right out there. Do you think it's a green card, healthy self-esteem, and she's... They've got completely opposing views. Pat has gone to the green card. Sam, you've gone to the red. Why?
Because I think that she's kind of... I'm afraid of people who kind of have this kind of... you know, what did she say? She said, I am who I am.
And I'm who I want to be.
And I'm a little bit afraid of people who have this kind of... I see this as arrogant because it seems they're never leaving room for change.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So even if someone told her, look, that wasn't very nice what you said, should be one of them person, I am who I am and I say what I want. It'd be like that. And I'm afraid of people like that, actually. Because I think sometimes arrogance is usually people who never want to change.
Good point.
Do you know what I mean? And I think we always have to... I know I've had times when I've been arrogant, but I've also had times when I've had to humble myself and take that slap and change. And I think we need to have room for that.
Pat, you're sticking to your red card. Tell me. Or
my green
your green card. Apologies. Green card. Tell me, why do you think?
I think we are just reading this quote was picked up from somewhere. We don't know the context of it. But I would assume she's probably saying that because she's a celebrity, she's not in a public eye, and I'm sure a lot of people hate her and feel jealous because of what she's achieved. But maybe throughout the time she had people who didn't really believe in her. And she made it. So she's proud because, she's proud of who she is today because she achieved what she wanted to. That's why she's saying, I am who I am and I am who I want to be. I am confident of who I am.
Yeah, she's confident without a doubt.
Very good point.
She's confident without a doubt. But
I definitely
stick to my guns on that one.
I actually, do you know what?
What's your view then?
My view.
Yeah, what have you got to say, Jen? There's no way you're going to stay on the fence with this one, Jen. You can't be on the fence.
No, I mean,
one or the other.
It's gosh. I honestly I'm leaning more towards what Patricia's saying. I totally agree with you. Many times people are arrogant, Sam, because they just don't want to change. However, having said that, I think it's coming from a place where she feels picked on. Because the statement sounds very defensive, like I have to defend myself. Look, I am who I am, and I'm who I want to be. It's like you either take it or leave it.
I don't care what people think.
Yeah, but then I guess it's one of the things where, you know, what Patricia said, it depends on the context. If you're looking at it from that angle, then yeah, she's pretty much saying, I don't care what you think, I am who I am, and that's it. But I think it's coming from an angle, that's how I read it, of defense. Look, leave me alone, I am who I am who I want to be, just leave me alone, kind of thing. But let's see the next one, if you're going to agree.
Okay, let's go.
We've got our beloved Paris Hilton, good grief.
I think we will.
Let's see what she's saying. There's nobody in the world like me. I think every decade has an iconic... Pat's already got a...
She's already there, yeah.
I think every decade has an iconic blonde like Marilyn Monroe or Princess Diana, and right now I am that icon. Green card or red card? Oh my God!
I've got to agree with Pat on this one.
Both of you think that she's been arrogant.
What?
Patricia, why do you think she's been arrogant?
Because there are a lot of people in the world that are probably better than her. She's saying that there's nobody in the world like me.
That's true. There's only one of us in the world.
And everyone knows Marilyn Monroe. Princess Diana, she's become what she's become because of what she's done. But Paris Hilton, come on. She is where she
She's
is
saying that
today.
every decade has
An icon. And she believes.
I mean, she's
Paris,
not the only one, though, is she, Jen? I mean, come
yeah,
on.
I know,
there's
but
other successful blondes in her time.
People could argue that's healthy, positive self-esteem. She believes in herself that much that she is that decade. I wouldn't say this decade because no one could hardly remember her. Oops, that's in my opinion. But, you know, she believes that in that particular decade, she was an icon. And maybe some people might see that as healthy self-esteem.
It may be healthy, but you know what? If she breaks a leg tomorrow, they're going to have to find somebody else to fill her spot. Sorry, darling.
Right, you know what? Okay. going back into the question in itself, I mean, what is the difference between healthy self-love then and arrogance? What would you say would be the difference? Because we both couldn't, or all of us, all three of us couldn't agree on a particular person apart from our Paris. But what would you say is healthy self-love?
I mean, I'm looking at it this way. I'm looking at what is arrogance. I'm looking at arrogance is definitely someone who's very, very overconfident. They see themselves as being superior to everybody else. And that's what I was seeing in some of these ladies. They saw themselves as superior to everybody else. They're better than everybody else. Do you know what I mean? And I find that as being arrogant.
Yeah.
You know, I think that a person who, you know, they start believing that everyone around them
should be like them,
should look up to them because they are so high and mighty. You know, that kind of person. And I think that's a description of someone who's very much that way inclined.
Patricia?
I think we need to have a balance. I can love myself very much, but like I graded myself an 8 because I know there's always room for improvement. And people who are arrogant, they tend to be all about
Number 10.
me. It's me. I am the one. I am the best. How can anyone deny themselves the pleasure of my company?
She threw in her argument there.
Like, I can do this. And they tend to take over other people. And they like to be on the spotlight, to be the center of their attention. And they get upset when they don't get that. But if you're not proud, you are just confident about yourself. You don't have to be out there for everyone to show everyone how confident you are.
Yeah.
It comes from within. If I feel confident about myself, I love myself, that's it. I don't have to show anyone, to prove anyone.
And I think I agree with you there, Pat. And I think they also need to be able to be humble enough, Jen, you know, to recognise that you're not perfect.
Yeah.
You have flaws.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else. Anyone I believe in this world who says, I never make a mistake, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I think that in itself is a form of arrogance when one cannot see their own mistakes.
We can't recognise
it. And, you know, speaking on arrogance, so let's say someone has seen that they're arrogant or they see that they don't quite love themselves the way that they should love themselves. What would you suggest? What pointers would you give to that particular person? Like, I've written that question. I've got this question written down here on purpose because there might be a viewer who's watching and saying, "Look, I understand everything that you're saying, but what pointers or what tips would you give me to express healthy self-love?" Who would like to go first?
I think
Pat's like,
yeah, go ahead, Pat.
I just think
forget
that
what you're going to say.
if you're listening to us, you're at home, sitting in your sofa, and you feel miserable, you hate yourself right now, and you think, how am I going to get out of this situation? I think one step at a time. First, you need to find something that you like about yourself. Maybe you don't like your body, but maybe you like your hair. So invest on it. Maybe you're not good in an office, but maybe you are good with children. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you're not good with children, but you're very good at maths. Mm-hmm. And find something that you love, something that you're good at, and start from that.
Mm. And what would you say are the benefits, of self-love as well? How does it benefit ourselves as a person? Okay, because maybe that person might say, well, liking yourself is selfish. You know, the reason why I don't invest too much in myself is because I want to be selfless.
I think you know what it is. You've got to value yourself. For you to, you have to value yourself for others to value you. So you have to be able to be assertive within your character, about your needs, about your opinions, you know, to be able to express yourself. And I think you have to have the confidence to be able to do that. And that is about valuing yourself.
Yeah. I think also I think you need to be more confident in the decisions that one would make. Could you give any examples of that? Like, because the reason why I'm saying that is many times we have to be confident, as in we have to be able to express ourselves. If you're given a task, like for example, you said you was given a job role, and then there's people that were there like, I don't think you can do it. I don't think you're good enough. If you wasn't confident enough to go for it, you would have not made it.
Exactly.
But that's just one example. I'm sure there's many other examples. Have you even ever been in a situation whereby you didn't feel confident enough to take on that role? I know you mentioned motherhood, but was there another experience that perhaps you had?
I can say that I've been probably distracted.
Okay.
In the sense that, you know, I can think of my younger days. I was very much distracted. I was going to be. They wanted to sponsor me to be a professional athlete.
Wow. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And at that point of my life, I lost the confidence in myself. I got distracted because I started to look at, wait there, I don't think if I invest in, I'm not going to make it. So let me go and do my modeling. Let me go and do the other things that was distracting me at that time. So I think the doubt came in, the other things distracted me, and I stopped investing in that key area.
What about relationships as well? Would you say it has an effect on one's relationships?
100%. I think with reflect on your question, Jen. Let me
like
for example,
how can one's low self-esteem, or if I could say not loving oneself, affect their relationships, i.e. with a partner, i.e. with a friend?
I'm glad you said that, because one of the most important things that I've found myself is that I need to love myself. I need to invest in myself. If I don't love myself, you know, the type of person I am, Jen, I love my husband. I'm the type of person, I love my friends, my family. I'm a people lover. But in order for me to love these people, I've got to be able to love myself first, because how am I going to be able to give love to others, to my husband, to my children, if I can't love myself?
It's a very valid point. It's like how, you know, the classic saying that people say, you should treat people how you'd like to be treated.
Yeah.
But if you don't treat yourself
right, if you
right,
don't treat yourself well, how are you going to be able to treat? For example, I was on the way home. And I was just watching a mother with her 2 children, and this mother, she must have been, I don't know, she must have had the world of problems. But her frustrations was taking it out on the 2 little. Now the little girls were just playing with themselves, 2 little sisters playing with themselves, beautiful little girls. They wasn't doing anything. But because she was so upset inside, her arrogance and her anger, if they laughed too loud, she was already shaking them and handling them and shouting at them, you know, which brought a lot of attention from other people who were around. Do you know what I mean? So you could see that because that woman at that time, that mother at that time, wasn't feeling good within herself, it was reflecting on her behaviour to other people, to her children.
Yeah.
And I think this is what happens with everyday people outside in the world.
Yeah, definitely. Patricia?
There's something on my cue card that I was gonna talk about, but I actually don't agree 100% to what it says here. It says that people who love themselves and are confident about themselves are less likely to be overcritical of themselves and others. You know your qualities and your weaknesses, but I myself tend to be very critical about myself.
Really?
So, for example, when I was first asked to come and do TV, I thought, come on, I'm not that beautiful to be on TV. I have braces on. I look horrible. How?
Can I just remind you, Pat? When I gave you a compliment, what was your first answer? You said, "Oh no, I look horrible."
Exactly. And when I go home,
wasn't you, Jen?
I can't really watch back the programs that I'm on.
Yeah.
I start watching and I'm like, oh my days, I should have said that. Oh, I don't look that nice. Why did I do that?
But yet you look so beautiful.
I tend to be a bit overcritical about myself. That's why. But I'm still confident. That's why I don't agree 100% with this. I think because you want to be better, so you always find something you can improve on.
Yeah. But I think what it is as well, at the same time, I think sometimes people have too higher expectations of themselves, and sometimes it's just not realistic. And as an effect, the flip side of that happens where they constantly bash themselves. So for example, i.e., a model, for example, she's over-criticized by her weight and the way she looks, perhaps her makeup or her hair, and she keeps criticizing herself and keeps comparing herself to others to the point where she starts to go into anorexia. Or you have people that, their relationships don't go well. Maybe that partner kept comparing them to someone else, was so overcritical. Maybe you're not like my mother, or you're not like my sister, or you're not, even worse, you're not like my previous girlfriend. I mean, if you was to hear that, you would feel absolutely terrible about yourself. And then because of that, some people, they even sink into depression because they keep comparing themselves to the other person, and they keep thinking, you know what, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. So I guess there are flip sides to it. I definitely agree with the critique thing, because I do that myself. Yeah. I'm very critical with myself, and sometimes.
But what are we looking at here? We're looking at what is the benefits of loving yourself.
Exactly, and I think one of the benefits of setting higher standards, I would say, is that it pushes you to be even better.
Exactly, because you've got to set boundaries for your like what you were saying, but you have to set boundaries for yourself.
Boundaries,
if you don't set boundaries for yourself, you're likely to fall, and you're likely to not reach the goals that in what you want to actually reach. And I think another benefit of actually loving yourself is it helps you to even secure an honest relationship.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking about relationships earlier, it will have a benefit. I'm sure that you have a successful marriage and relationship with your daughter because of what you think about yourself. And that's helping you to succeed in your relationships. With my work colleagues, with my fellow colleagues. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's really, really, it has a big benefit in loving yourself, Jennifer. It's something we need to really, invest in.
And the thing is, both of you made very, very valid points, and we're going to give even more tips after the break. So like I said, I hope you've got your pen and paper pads ready. If you're feeling like you should be investing a little bit more in you and having good self-esteem, you don't want to miss this. We'll be back, so grab some more tea. So we've been talking about self-love on today's show, and I want to go straight into it, because I bet people are just thinking, okay, so what can I do, and what is supposed to happen next? I've heard all of these great points, but how can I actually apply it? And I've got something here. How can you tell if you don't love yourself? Because maybe there's a person that's sat out there and they want to recognize, do I have healthy self-esteem or not?
I think one of the things to recognize is that you don't trust your own judgment.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You don't trust in the decisions that you make for yourself. It can be something very, very simple, like, what shall I put on in the morning? You need to get an opinion on how that looks. You know what I mean? Some people, if they put on something, they don't know if it looks, they have to get an opinion of someone else. Do I look nice or not? Where another person, if they're confident, they can look in the mirror and they know if they look nice or not. So I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Patricia?
Yes, you've said what I was going to say. People tend to ask others for opinions, even with regards to their personal life. Oh, what do you think I should do? Should I do this? Should I do that? There are situations where you do have to ask for help, ask for advice, but it can't be, if it's a constant thing that you keep doing, and for every single thing you always call your mom, your sister, or your friend to find out what they think, what they would do in your place, then that's a sign of
I think
someone
that's
is not
also
so
very,
confident.
very, very dangerous. Imagine if you've got a person who's in a relationship and they're not confident.
That's it.
Goodness gracious me, how many relationships suffer because, you know, the person just keeps running to their friends for advice because they're not confident about resolving their own conflicts in their relationship, or they keep running to their family members to resolve it and they bring the family members into the relationship. I guess that sometimes can cause so much tension and so much problems.
Yeah. And very much to what we were spoken about earlier, about if you're a type of person and you're always criticising yourself. I mean, we touched on it earlier, and, you know, you find it very hard to compliment yourself. I think that's a big, big sign.
Big one.
Very big sign.
Very big one.
I think you should always be able to look at yourself. You should be able to appreciate things that you do, and you should know whether you've done well in something or not.
Yeah, yeah. And Patricia?
And also another sign of someone that is not so confident. I don't want to say someone's got a low self-esteem. Someone is not so confident. It's that they stop looking after themselves.
Yes.
Right. They don't think they look pretty anymore. So why bother to put some makeup on or do my hair? I understand there are times where you're just rushing and you don't have time to do that. But every now and again, it's good to go buy a new dress, go buy a new suit, go for a haircut, do something different to value your physical appearance as well.
They just don't make... There's so many women out there like that. And I really want these women to change. I think it's so important for us women to really, really, you know, make that big effort to really work on ourselves. Don't you think, Jen?
Most definitely. And I think sometimes life can knock a person down where they don't purposely put themselves in a position whereby they feel like, do you know what, I just don't want to take care of myself. I think sometimes situations happen in life where they've been traumatized or they've gone through a really hard experience and they're like, you know what, I can't be bothered anymore.
But do you know what?
And I don't want to be bothered anymore.
But I found this is something that I've experienced myself through traumas. You know, I've been through traumas. I've been through abuse. I've been where I would have had every possible excuse not to take care of myself with my life experiences. And I think this is where us as women, we have to kind of use the traumas, the negative situations and the things that we've gone through to kind of say, you know what, I'm not going to accept this abuse and to think that I'm nothing. I'm going to ride against it. And that's what I had to do. At the times when I've been abused, the times when I've been put down, I've had to use that to kind of put myself up, fix up my hair, go to the hairdressers, go and get done, buy some new clothes and make myself feel good about myself again.
That's what I was just about to say. Sometimes, I don't know if you would agree, ladies, you know, there's times when you feel absolutely horrible, but when you make an effort to take care of yourself, it kind of lifts up your spirit and it makes you feel so much better. I don't know about you.
It makes you feel beautiful.
I'm telling you, there's times when I've been absolutely ill or miserable or had some really bad news and I've just been like, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to my wardrobe, I'm going to put on my best outfit today, I'm going to get my hair done, I'm going to, you know, put on some makeup. And then it's just nice when you just look in the mirror, and even though for that brief moment, because it literally sometimes is a brief moment, you just feel happy. At least you felt nice.
Yeah.
Even if
it gives you confidence.
Yeah, it gives you confidence. And even if everybody else doesn't think you look great, at least you feel great about yourself because you did it.
That's
you know.
right.
And that's what matters. If you feel good about yourself, that's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And, you know, going into that aspect, what would you say then? What are practical tips you would say for people?
Can I just say something as she just mentioned that? Sorry to cut you. But as she's just said that, I was just thinking, it changes people's opinions about you as well.
That's a good point.
Because, for example, if you're confident and you're loving yourself, even if a person didn't like you, you can change the way that person thinks about you even.
Most definitely.
How powerful is that?
And even if it doesn't, it's like it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yeah. Because you're confident within yourself.
Other people's opinions are still the same about you, but you don't think like that. You value yourself. You think, oh, well, it's good if it changes, of course, but it's not like you're going to depend on other people's opinions to love yourself. And when I go, for example, to the hairdressers, and they do my hair like really nice, I think, wow. Even I am like, wow.
Not my hair.
But even if I don't get any compliments from anyone, oh, your hair looks nice.
True.
I don't care.
Exactly.
But I liked what I saw. And that helps to build up my my self-esteem
Yes,
at that time.
I agree.
And it's funny how, sorry, staying on that point as well then, it's funny how people love confident people.
Yes, they do.
Let's face it, women are attracted to guys that are charming, they're confident, they're out there. Guys are attracted to women that are confident, they know who they are, they know what they want, and they have confidence within themselves. Employers are looking for people that are confident.
That's right.
That can represent their company well, that can get out there. Even celebrities, you like those people that are confident enough to wear those blasé clothes or to say that blasé line in film. Confidence is attractive. And I think one of the ways that a person can love themselves or have positive self-esteem is through confidence as well. But you know what, going into that, what practical steps would you say that, what would you say to the viewers out there for them to have better self-esteem, to start loving themselves? What can they do?
Right. Do not compare yourself to others.
That's a big one. It's very hard, Sam, though.
It's not hard, Jen.
I think it's hard for some people.
I think it may be hard for some people, but it's mind over matter.
Yeah.
I think you can't, if you're going to dwell on, I need to be like you. Do you know what I mean? I'm dwelling on making myself to be like this person. You're forgetting about yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I think it's really, really important to kind of not compare yourself.
It's like self-sabotage.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
You will never ever be like anyone else because there's only one of you. So I guess
forget about, like what Pat was saying, forget about everybody else.
Yeah.
Just focus on you.
Learn to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, different occasions, different scenarios, but learn from it. Don't keep, one day I was listening to someone talking about this and it really hit me. I said, it's true. Why do people have to keep blaming themselves for something they did in the past? Even a criminal, someone commits a crime, they go to jail, they pay for it. Then when they get out of there, they're not going to go to jail again and keep paying for the same crime over and over again. They've already paid the price for it. So you made your mistakes. If you had to pay the price for it, I'm sure you're paying the price now or you will pay the price. But then it's done. What it's done, it's done. There's no point going back and keep banging yourself because I've done this, I've done that. Move on.
Right. And again, set realistic goals.
Yeah.
Don't set your goals too high that you can't reach it. Set small goals, work towards it, achieve it, and then keep going. I think it's important to do it that way.
Yeah.
And
I also think that looking at past success is very, very important. Looking at your accomplishments and your achievements before, okay, you might have made mistakes, but I'm sure there's something that you've done and that you've accomplished and you've been very successful at, and that's an achievement within itself. Ladies, we are coming to the end of the show. I can't believe it. But before we go, I want you to each quickly conclude. What point if someone was to ask you out there, what is the one point you would tell me to do in order to love myself better, what would you do? Right,
I would say to invest in my confidence, I would say for myself, this is what I've done. I've invested in my spiritual well-being, my education, my beauty, clothes, fashion. You know what I mean? All these things make my love life. So all of these are areas of my life, and I've worked to build on them. So I would say that.
Okay. I think I will go with what I said earlier. Start one step at a time. Find something you are good at or something that you like about yourself and work with that. And as you do it, you will realize there's other things that you didn't know about yourself that you start liking as well. Maybe you're not good at maths, but maybe you start doing something and you say, oh, actually, I am good at maths and I didn't know. So as time goes by step, you'll start finding new things to appreciate about yourself.
And one more thing, Jen. The quality of your life, like I said in the beginning of the show, it's what you plant. What you plant for your life is what you're gonna, live tomorrow. So plant the right things for your life. And there you have it. So you've got your tips now. I hope you're going to use every single one of them. We're DKW. We've had a great show with you, ladies and gents that have been watching. So don't forget to catch us next Sunday at 4 p.m. Take care. Bye.
This one's for the girls. This one's for